Hey, what's up, Dojo Rats? This is Colt. How are you? Today, I'd like to talk about something special in the news. Is it special? I don't know if it's really going to happen. But we have Jake Shields possibly fighting a transgender male. And if you guys aren't in the know, I guess transgender male means born female, now currently competing as a man. So, like, as we can see, here is Mack Beggs in 2017 wrestling in high school against a female competitor. Pretty intense. That was like a really good kind of little moment there. A little nice scramble. I mean, it seemed like whatever Mack's opponent was like in they were starting from referee position, and just yeah, there's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference in intensity there, isn't there? Mack Beggs was born a girl but transitioned into a boy. Okay, I see that. I believe this is.
And the rules are that you have to wrestle with what class, like what gender you were born in.
Okay. So some people are commenting on this as we're watching this footage.
So I think it's like unfair to the girls to have to wrestle somebody way stronger than them.
A lot of people saying it's unfair for girls to wrestle somebody that's another female going through testosterone
Well, it's
treatments.
just not fair for a girl to take testosterone. That's too overwhelming an advantage.
Yeah, that exchange didn't look like a lot of technique, just looked like somebody stronger. I see that.
If she wants
but hustling back to the center.
Go another way, that's fine. But me as a mom with my daughter wrestling, I think that's an unfair advantage.
That was a nice shuck by,
on
on the single leg. I mean, that was technique. I think there's a concerned mother commenting on this. So saying, oh, this is not an opportunity. Like, it's an advantage. This testosterone is an advantage. I guess I could see that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's probably stronger than all of her opponents, like 10 times stronger.
10 times? Who's 10 times stronger? Like, is it like Goku, Kaioken, 10 times stronger? I mean, you can only be like 1.1 strong. That's pretty strong. But it probably feels like 10 times stronger. But you can definitely see the strength difference, yeah. There's really no hiding that. I don't really know how good her opponent is here. But I assume she's fairly decent. If it's, Texas isn't bad at wrestling. And it's a big state.
It's not fair that he's still forced to be a girl.
Have her wrestle with the guys since that's what she wants to do.
Right, so somebody's saying, let her wrestle with the guys. I mean, it's not like Mack wasn't trying to be on the male team. They wouldn't let him. Gotta wrestle the girls. All right, I see. Okay. The discussion continues.
Still a little unfair because she's still just a kid.
Little unfair, just a kid. Oh, somebody doesn't want to comment. Somebody doesn't want to throw in, so they just say, I don't know. No comment. She's just a kid, which is not wrong. I actually respect that more than somebody always trying to jab their 2 cents in there like this guy. Huh? Okay. So we can pretty much see Mack pretty much handling. I wonder what the score is. Can we see a score? I assume Mack has got the red band on. We see a score 2-0. I wonder if this is the beginning of the match.
I honestly just think that people should stop harassing her about it because it is her decision, it is her choices. And, I mean, that should be nobody else's business.
I don't know if that score is from another mat, but I think this is the same opponent. Oh, I want to hear that one more time. Somebody said something really interesting.
You're going to have to wrestle some strong people sometimes. It's life. Like, you just can't get through that. You're going to have to wrestle some strong people sometimes. It's life. Like, you just can't get through
Wow,
that.
so that was really interesting. So you're just going to have to wrestle some strong people sometime. That's just life. How's that make you feel? I think that's interesting. You're going to have to wrestle. I mean, obviously, I've wrestled. I've had my butt handed to me before. And some people are just world stronger. And But sometimes you're that guy too, the longer you've been into it. So it's interesting that somebody had that outlook, like sometimes somebody's just going to be stronger than you and you got to deal with that. In my personal opinion, I think most people wrestle not because we're all going to be world champions, but just so we know that, we can build the character and handle ourselves in the situation that, somebody wants to put us somewhere we don't want to be. And I don't think that is necessarily limited to gender to have to be able to deal with that. I don't think somebody having the character and the grit to wrestle should not be limited to any gender per se. But in this situation, it does seem unfair because somebody's taking testosterone, competing against women. I could see why people are kind of a little frumpy about it. But this is not the choice of Beggs here. But that is one outlook at it, right? Yes, he's champion, but sometimes somebody's just stronger than you. Okay, that's one look at. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to like people saying that, but I thought that was at least somewhat insightful comment, while other people were just talking about, is this fair? Is this right? All right, let's finish this out.
I just think it's unfair as far as in the realm of athletics.
Unfair in the realm of athletics. Okay, I can see. Testosterone changes the game. All right.
I'm all for what she is doing with her life, and I respect that as her choice to do that, understanding that what she is doing in one part of her life gives her an unfair advantage in the other part of her life, and that's not fair to the other 15 athletes that are in her bracket.
Not fair to the other athletes. All right, in her bracket.
I don't know how to answer the question and say what would I do in that situation. It's not fair to say she shouldn't wrestle, but it's also not fair to say she should wrestle on the other girls. It's an interesting situation.
Somebody's trying to say, I'm not saying this, but I'm kind of saying this. Everybody's like, I kind of feel this way, but I kind of want to keep my linguistic flexibility just in case I need to ally with another person or not. I love how diplomatic some people are trying to be. And some people are just like, that's weird. I don't like it, and it's different. And that's totally your respectable opinion that you can give. Or you could say it's should not happen. Okay. And then that's an argument that you could make. In this instance, yeah, does seem unfair. But the news that we're talking about now, right? We have Jake Shields has a willing transgender opponent lined up. Okay. See, I think this is awful. Why Jake Fields? I think I looked up Mack Beggs, and it says former high school wrestler from Texas. Beggs is a trans man. Has same state athletic rules allowed him to compete in a league for the sex. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. I can't read.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
I'm having my Chat GPT read it to me, and then I'm repeating it out loud because I cannot read. But anyway, 6 consecutive state titles in Texas, which is good. I think maybe got into college, was allowed to wrestle in college, but got a double mastectomy and had to take time off from surgery. So not even college experience yet. College career. So not even really college experience yet. Not even college experience yet. But fighting Jake Shields, who is actually, for MMA, a pretty good wrestler. I mean, he's probably like one of the most experienced fighters that are out there. I mean, he held a title in Strikeforce, challenged in the UFC. Why is this person's first fight? I mean, what is this going to prove? I mean, isn't this just a big apples and oranges discussion? It's not going to be about should a trans man compete against men. This is just a terrible matchup. I mean, why? Who is putting this together? I mean, is there a lot of money in this? So it's a hot button debate in today's society. I mean, as an exhibition, maybe it'd be interesting. But from what it sounds like, Shields is not like really all about this Beggs. We're just going to make this official call out, but Jake Shields will take you up on the offer, Beggs said, but the offer isn't going to be 10 versus 10 trans men. You're going to be fighting for the rest of the night. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay. It's the fact that you're all super fixated on and have some fetish with trans women, and you have even forgot that we are out here. We are about to you up. Okay, and who said that? Who said that? Oh, it didn't take Shields long for Shields to get the word of Beggs accepting the fight offer. Okay. And what does Shields say? Oh, okay. Twitter, right? So everybody's smarter on Twitter, right? So we can read this, right? I'm not talking to myself. Yes. So this thing thinks it can beat me in a fight. This thing. Okay. So this thing. That seems a little childish. Don't get me wrong. I actually am kind of a fan of Jake Shields as a fighter. I like the technique he uses. I think he's very experienced in both wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Not a terrible striker. Just been in the game for a long time. All joking aside, does have the propensity to be quite a douche. Yeah, I think that's probably the nicest way to say that. He's kind of a douche, but I like him as a fighter. I mean, like, he beat Dan Henderson when Dan Henderson was just giving people brain shutdowns, and he came back and beat Dan Henderson. Process when, in his 30s he had more acne on his back than like 14-year-old boy going through changes as a grown-ass man. So I think that's interesting that this thing, I don't care I don't know where the trans movement is, and I think I'm getting better at the pronouns, but I would never call somebody a thing. This thing. That's just not right. I don't care where you are on either side of athletics or sports. We don't call people things. That's my stance, and I'm not really going to shift from that. I could hear everybody's arguments, but I'm not going to call someone a thing or it. I've had issues at my wrestling practice where I just had a boy with long hair. And he was actually pretty tough. But another boy called, it. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. It's like, granted, around the age of 9, 8, 10, we don't really know. It's not always easy to tell. Is it, is this person a boy or is this person a girl? If they have long or short hair, we have these certain expectations. But I had to stop practicing and take a moment. It's like, no, I'm not going to say this person's name, but it's like, this is John. John is a boy, and John has long hair. Do push-ups, you little jackass. That's where I stand on that. But this isn't necessarily the same topic. I'm just saying, we don't call people it. We don't call people things. That's just childish. Sorry, Jake Shields. Like I say, I think you're a great fighter, but you're kind of a douche. And if we ever meet again, you could totally choke me out. That's cool. I would not hold that against you. So Beggs' high school career wasn't without controversy. Several opponents withdrew from matchups. Beggs was taking testosterone enhancers to enhance his gender transition. Shields hasn't fought since PFL in 2018, but still pretty active in Nate Diaz's fight camps. So it's like, why? Why Jake Shields? If Jake Shields remains serious about this public call-out, Beggs seems ready and willing to accept. Actually, I'm going to throw my hat in here, okay? My hat in for Beggs. Let's see Beggs again. Right here. Okay. So we got Beggs here. Here's my 2 cents that nobody freaking cares about. I think we would be talking a little bit different about this if it was a transgender female, born as a man, competing as a woman. But that's not what I'm talking about. Let's be absolutely clear. This is what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about this. We're talking about someone born a female that wants to compete against men. And honestly, I'm all for that. I think that's great. If you want to be somebody, if you want to accept that challenge, I think that's amazing. But you got to understand the levels. And it's just a different sport. Okay, wrestlers can be good at MMA. They can be very good at MMA. But wrestling good, MMA good, does not equal. It's not 1992. I mean, it is fighting. It is fighting. You have to know about fighting. You're not just jiu-jitsu, not just kickboxing, and then you mix it all together in a blender and make a shake and drink it. No, you have to know how to fight MMA. And there's not a lot of people in the sport now that have more experience than Jake Shields. So I think this is going to talk, but I don't think this is going to happen. This isn't going to happen, I don't think, because who would approve this with this level of experience? Unless it's some kind of crazy exhibition match that's just fun, free-spirited, and then I'd be all about it. But Jake is saying some stuff like, oh, I'm going to crush this thing. Yeah, man. That's just not cool. I mean, why? I mean, I can understand if you let this person compete against men and competes with somebody with the same record or some experience, like, but there's college wrestlers. You might compete against a college wrestler that has actual fight experience, right? So you're competing against a natural man that probably has more experience. I don't know who would like want to take this or what they think this is going to prove, but no matter what happens, this is a total apples and oranges conversation. Even if you're rooting for Mack, which I really am, this is not a good move for Shields, and this is not a good move for Mack. It's not going to, I don't believe this is going to further conversation. They're going to talk about gender, and they're going to talk about feelings of the public, and it's really just going to be a professional fighter against an amateur fighter, a very professional fighter, even whether he's retired or not. I mean, let me even look this up. Let's say Jake Shields on ShareDog, okay? Jake Shields. All right, Jake Shields. What's his record? His record is 33-11. That's quite a lot of fights. I'm not good at math, but that's like more than 40. Maybe not quite 50.
I'm not a smart man.
All right, comment below if you can add these two together, because it's like it's a. I don't know the number, but I'm sure it's more than 1. It's more than 0, which is what Mack Beggs is at here. He even has 1 draw. This is his draw. He has more draws than has fights. Okay, and who is he fighting here? Okay, Ray Cooper III. Seems like he's had losses to that, and John Finch. John Finch, very, very seasoned fighter. Rosa Mirapalaris, the guy that would rip people's ankle bones out. Lost to Hector Lombard. Ryan Ford. Beat Damian Maia. 2013. That's long ago. Tyrone Woodley, back before he was champion. Yeah, I mean, this is a title fight here. Robbie Lawler. Beat Robbie Lawler. I'm pretty sure Robbie Lawler has Dan Henderson, Carlos Conduit, Yoshino Kami, Dave Minnie. I mean, this is way back when. Look, this fool was fighting in 1999. Okay, before, I think that's probably even before this person was born. And this person was fighting. Okay, like, and he probably made some money. I don't know, back then, maybe that's like when they had just had a barn with chickens in it and they would like have people fight, because 1999 was a crazy time to fight. I mean, who the heck knows what the quality of these fights are, but 1999. Like in 1999, I was a freshman in high school, and I was just starting to see VHS tests of Horace Gracie in 1999. I'm not trying to pretend to be that old school. At least I saw the VHSs, but we're not talking about the same thing here. I guess that's my point. It is not the same thing, y'all. Sakurai beat Sakurai in 2002 when Sakurai was like the king of Japan. I've already made my point, and I'm not gonna really hammer it. But I want to know what you think. But please, let's stay focused on what the discussion actually is, right? And I've heard some other arguments that that if this person is allowed to compete against a man, that's going to be a talking point for letting born males compete against women. That could be one argument. But I just think it's just a logical fallacy to have this happen. It's not an interesting matchup. I think they could do an exhibition. Like I said, they could train together. But honestly, actually, one more thing. I think Shields is probably 170 to 180. He probably walks around at 200 pounds. Do we have any weight? Jamie, can you find Mack Beggs' weight for me? No Jamie here. But maybe I can find Mack Beggs' weight class, because he doesn't look that big. All right, and so April. So maybe Mack was alive when Jake Shields started fighting. Maybe. I guess I got to look at the date on that. Jake Shields, do we have a date? October. Yes, we've confirmed this. Can you see that? Okay. Mack Shields was indeed alive, because Mack Shields was born in April of 1999, and Jake Shields' first fight was in October of 99. October. Yeah. Okay, so this should be a fair fight, right? I mean, at least they were like, Jake Shields was fighting, this person was born. Yeah, okay, so what weight class? It's got to say the weight class that they competed at. Weight class. What weight class? It's got to say the weight class. Matt changed the laws. I mean, especially since it's wrestling women. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my God, can you guys see this? 110 weight class in Texas. So it's not even a very large person. Actually, I think I just answered my own question. This is not going to happen. It's going to be discussed for a while, and then I think now granted this is 110 pounds. So this is a very lightweight category. It's not even a middleweight. Maybe putting on man weight now. So the experience. So yeah, so we're not this. I'm sorry to waste your guys' time. This fight is not happening. It cannot happen. But you never know nowadays. Somebody could see this potential to like cause some buzz. But the weight class is wrong. The experience is wrong. So the whole question about gender, whether gender should compete or not, it's not even what we're talking about here. This is not even the situation. But to sum it all up, it's just a bad decision to put on this fight, and I think Shields could have handled this better. Whatever, you're a semi-famous person. I mean, people that know you. You're not like Bruce Willis, but I feel like Shields should have more decency. Just some rando calls you out on Twitter, whatever. Unless he's somehow like trying to gaslight this, and is that the right word? How do kids use gaslight? Is he trying to like hype this up, make this something interesting? I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not giving him that much credit, at least as far as a personal interaction level. But like I said, I don't even remember what I said. Okay, so this fight is not happening, but it's an interesting thought experiment. Should this happen? You can comment below. Should this happen? Yay or nay? Does it make a difference that it's a born female or a born male? Well, if this fight does happen, would this further the conversation as far as transgenders in sports? Would this further the conversation in combat sports? But please, if you do comment, please keep it to one topic at a time, right? Because it's a big apples and oranges thing going. It's not even an apples and oranges thing. It's like apples, oranges, banana, pork chop. Like, it's really hard to, like, we're not even talking about the same thing anymore, I find, with this topic. So let's just, like, if you do comment, you know what, screw it. Just say whatever the hell you want. It's a free country. Well, maybe you're not in the same country I'm in. What country am I in? Okay, I'm in Japan. Okay, so I'm sorry, this is not a free country. But maybe it is where you are. So yeah, like and subscribe, and what do you do? Comment below, because every time you comment below, a child in Africa is granted water. I mean, I have that in the works. Been talking to UNICEF, but haven't signed the paperwork on it. But every time you comment, good things will happen. And all right, party on.